Yeah, this is going to be a quick video on the install steps and how to like do the default setup for Linux Mint. I am actually setting up a customer today to work in an office environment. So I'm going to be setting up Microsoft 365 services and printing and scanning and a bunch of other stuff in a later video. But this one is going to be targeted to you who just wants to have a working computer. So Windows 10 is coming to an end. Here's how we do it. You need to head over to Mint's website. That's linuxmint.com, by the way. Just click there on the download button. That's going to bring you to this screen. If you want to, you can click on the install guide for more info. You need to scroll down the page a bit in order to actually download the program. I always use Clarkson University, so I just click there on Clarkson University. And the reason why I choose Clarkson is because Jeremy Clarkson is just awesome. All right, that's going to download the ISO for you. All right, on the install guide, after that has downloaded, you need to create a bootable USB flash drive. So on the install guide, just go to it and then click on create the bootable media. Oh, and if you scan that QR code, it'll bring up this web page on your phone. All right, grab yourself a USB flash drive that is at least 8 gigabytes in size and go ahead and plug it in, download this program, find the ISO and burn it to that flash drive. It's going to erase everything that is on that flash drive. Okay. Oh, and by the way, if you have a problem with the install, like it's not reading the flash drive or something like that, dude, grab yourself a different flash drive and try again. Sometimes, and like 99% of the time, it works just fine. Sometimes you will have a problem writing to one of these things, or you'll just have a faulty flash drive. It happens. All right, after you created that USB, plug it in, and we're going to need to enter into the BIOS setting. This is the most difficult part of the entire install. If you're not comfortable doing this, dude, send me your computer, pay me $100, and I'll install it for you and send it back. You still got to pay for the shipping, though. How you get into your BIOS settings or your UEFI settings is dependent on your manufacturer of your computer. So most of them at startup, if you just press F12 or F2 or the delete button, it will allow you to get into these settings. All right, once you're in there, we are going to be changing two things. You're going to shut off Secure Boot. Secure Boot's not really necessary for most people. What it actually does is it stops software from running on your computer at boot unless it's passed an integrity check. If you want to, you can leave it on, but in most cases, it's better just to turn it off, especially if you have an NVIDIA graphics card. By the way, this is not going to degrade your security as a normal user. Like, you don't need it. All right, the next setting that we're going to change is the boot order. You need to switch it to where the USB flash drive is going to boot before your hard disk. By the way, if you're wishy-washy about destroying your Microsoft Windows installation, just buy yourself a different SSD. FYI, if you use this link right over here, you'll slap a little bit of money into my pocket. It's always appreciated. This right here is the SSD that I use for doing reboots or remodels of computers. They're good. They have a 3-year warranty. All right, so save and exit from your BIOS settings, and then it's going to do the startup, and it should boot directly from the USB flash drive. And you're going to be presented with this scary text screen. Just select the very first option that just says Start Linux Mint. Again, if you would rather pay somebody to do this, call me. All right, now that you're booted in, here's two things. You need to connect to the internet first. I recommend doing a hardwire connection if you have it available. If not, just go for the wireless. If you're on a laptop, make sure you plug it in. Okay, I meant the power, by the way. Plug in the power. All right, click up here on this little icon that says Install Linux Mint. Whenever you double click it, it's going to take a couple of seconds to start up. All right, select your language. Mine's English. Click on Continue. Next up is going to be your keyboard. It defaults to the US QWERTY keyboard, and if you're one of those Dvorak weirdos, you can select that too, I guess. And then just click on Continue. Next up is this multimedia codecs. You absolutely want to install this if you want to be able to watch Netflix and stuff like that. By the way, you can install it later if you skip this step, but dude, just do it from the get-go. All right, next screen is talking about which hard disk you want to install it on. If you only have one hard disk, then all you got to do is just select the first option, click on Install Now, and you're good to go. It's going to give you a confirmation screen saying, hey, are you sure you want to erase this? And just be like, yeah, I totally do want to erase it, and just continue. There are more advanced options like setting up disk encryption and setting up an LVM and a bunch of other stuff, but you don't need to worry about that as an average user. All right, it's going to bring you to this confirmation screen, and it's going to talk about exactly what it's going to do. Just click on Continue. All right, next screen is going to ask you to select your time zone. For us here in Central Standard Time in the Panhandle of Texas, Chicago works. Click around on that map, by the way, wherever's closest to your city, and it'll select the correct time zone for you. You can always change it later. And here's that super important step at 4.50. Okay. Anyway, Type in your name, your computer name, erase whatever's inside of there, and then make it something that is under 15 characters. That's for legacy support. Like, the odds of you needing that nowadays, kind of slim, but whenever you do need it and your name's too long, it bites you in the ass. So just change it to something under 15 characters. Okay, the other thing, do not select login automatically. You can set this up to where it'll log you in automatically without you having to put in a password. However, the first time that you start this up, if you have login automatically selected, then it's going to pop up with this warning whenever you open something that requires a password. And it's going to say, you need to set up your key ring. And you're going to be like, what the hell is a key ring? That right there is an internal password manager that all computer systems have, Windows included, including Mac and everything else that is out there. It's a secure way to store credentials and special login stuff, like your web browser uses it. So if you just don't select that login automatically, then what it's going to do is it's going to set up your keyring for you with the password that you typed in right here. All right, now's the time to hurry up and wait. You can click through this little slideshow and it'll tell you some cool things about Linux Mint. The install doesn't take all that long for most people, but if you're on like a hard disk drive, like an old spinning disk, you can expect it to take a little bit of time. Once the installation is completed, it's going to prompt you to restart. Go ahead and click on Restart Now. And then it's going to do this weird thing. It's going to pop and it's going to say, please remove the installation medium. Once you see this screen, remove your USB from your computer and then press the enter button. Okay, that right there is how to install Linux Mint. On this next video, I'm going to be showing you how to set it up properly so that you will not have to worry about your Linux Mint installation for many, many years. Okay, so I'll see you in the next video.